Welcome to day 190 of TFIF 365. Yes, I'm still a little bit hoarse, but I really wanted to come to you in person because I had a revelation just now. I was not planning on doing a video just yet, but I just had a revelation that I just really wanted to share. It's that I realized that I'm still living small. I'm still living small. And it's showing up in really what would seem to be minor or harmless ways, but they're not, because I'm still not living my authentic full truth. And what I mean by that is when I was with my family this weekend, I still found there's so much excitement. As I said in yesterday's video, it was my first time being with my family, whom I love dearly, but showing up as my authentic, brash, bold, confident, fearless self, right? And unapologetic. I was unapologetically me. And so I even found myself sharing my life in small tones. I still find myself struggling, because this is not even a challenge, it's a struggle. That's why I'm very intentional about my words, because when I mean challenge, I mean challenge. But when I mean struggle, I mean struggle. But I've been struggling with the narrative that I've heard my whole life as the only child, that I'm showing off, I think I'm better than anybody else, and all these other things. Or when I have something, I have to share it with everybody because that's what good people do. And if you don't, so all of that stuff. And so I still find myself playing small so that I don't have to share with other people, so that I don't have to apologize, so I don't have to feel guilty that other people don't have what I have, even though I've worked for what I have. In spite of systems, institutions, and policies designed to privilege folks who don't look like me and harm folks who look like me, specifically Black women, I've created a wonderful life, and I'm still too ashamed to share that because I have this guilt in my heart that I don't deserve this. And if I deserve it, then it is my responsibility to make sure everybody else has it. And that's what's coming up also in these daily videos, because my job here, or my goal here, or my intention here is to show what living supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free looks like. And some kind of way I got that twisted, that I have to only show the struggles that I have, the challenge that I have. I don't get to celebrate, show the abundance, show the unlimited joy that I'm experiencing. Even though my bank account doesn't look like what it did before I transitioned to this whole new business thing, I'm living a life that I never imagined I could live. I didn't even know this shit was possible. And that's another thing about systems, institutions, and policies designed to privilege the few at the expense of the many. It's this double-edged sword. That's why it's not just the one side, it's both sides. It's that they benefit at our expense. It's not just that they benefit, because if they just benefited, we all would benefit, and we will all feel gracious and have this feeling of, oh my God, ready to explore and see what's next and dive into the abundance of the universe. But we don't, because for them to continue to benefit at our expense, they have to shame us and make us feel guilty for anything that we have that looks like them. So I'm gonna give you an example. And I've really been thinking about this, and this is gonna be a real, a triggering example for some people. So the wealthy, and so this is where I play around with this idea of capitalism, right? Because capitalism is only about private ownership of business, and how, if you are a dry cleaner and people need their clothes cleaned, they would come to you, they would pay you for a service, right? If you're cooking, if you're Popeyes, if people want Popeyes chicken, they're paying you for a product, right? And service along, but you're going for the chicken, right? And what happens is those who are on the negative side of that equation, are targeted part of the equation, on the it's okay to harm these people part of the equation, when we experience any of that that has been held back from us, we have been indoctrinated not to fully enjoy. And that's what I've been struggling with. I've been saying this for the last few months. How surprised I am of how hard it is for me to enjoy my life. And I've worked for this life. I mean, the reason I get to rest so much is because I decided that there was a special way I needed to work in order to be able to rest. And that means that there are some things that I cannot do. There's some opportunities I cannot take. There's some resources that I have to leave on the table because it doesn't align with how I want to live my life, which is rest first, travel second, and teach second. I rest so I can travel, and I travel so I can teach, right? And so this is going back to, because I went off on a tangent, but this is going back to this example, right? So let's talk about travel, right? Before there were cars, there were horse and buggies, right? And then you got the bicycle, and then you got the car. But at each iteration, people got to move further away from where they initially started, right? So if all you have is walking, there's only so far you can walk, right? That the average person can walk and then have to return home. Because if you're just going to keep walking, that's a whole nother thing. And then if you could afford a horse, then you were able to go further, right? And then if you were able to get a car, that meant you were able to go further. And then we got trains. And then we have airplanes. And there's this narrative that for folks like me who are in the part of the equation that is not supposed to benefit from any of the capitalism of my own. And this is so funny. It's my own making. I have my own business. People value my work to a point where they pay my prices, right? That's what that is. And yet I don't allow myself to even enjoy the benefit of my paychecks. So if I want to travel in what I consider comfort and luxury, I'm hearing this narrative in my head that, okay, you need to think about global warming. You need to think about all this. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, the supremacy, coercion, discrimination, and exploitation free. Those things are always in my calculus, but they can't be my only thing that's in my calculus, right? They can't be. My comfort is has value. And it's not about being overindulgent. Comfort shouldn't be seen as overindulgent. When I travel, I understand now after all these trips that I've been on and how tired I have, there's a level of comfort I have to have if I'm going to do this work and travel. I can no longer get off a flight, travel all day, get off a flight or get out of a car, drop your bags off at your accommodations and hit the street. That doesn't work for me anymore. The day of travel is all I can do. I have to rest. And I have to rest in an environment that allows me to be comforted. Because even when I was with my family this weekend, because of the environment, I'm sharing space with family, I did not sleep well for 3 days. And now I'm supposed to go back to work, right? And those things have to be a part of the calculation. And so what I'm going to make a commitment to myself is try to show you as much or share with you as much of the joy and abundance that I am living due to the choices I've made and the actions I've taken that align with supremacy, coercion, discrimination, and exploitation free. Because I deserve that. I deserve to be able to show you my joy as well as my struggle, my challenges, my pain. And you deserve to see a model of that because you deserve everything you want. The universe is abundant and it's not just for the few, right? And it's definitely not just for the few who are benefiting from unearned privileges due to systems, institutions, and policies designed to privilege them at the expense of the many. So that's what I want to share with you this morning. And I'm going to show I'm going to lean in more of the abundance in my life and to share that with you. So until tomorrow, peace.